All right, let's move up to an ordinal now. This is a really interesting variable that it's over the years, the shape of this variable has changed, but it has always had this interesting appearance. This is attendance at religious services, and it's an ordinal because those respondents who never attend or attend less than once a year are here, and then by rank, we go up in attendance levels all the way to every week or more frequently. I have the label bimodal here. What does that mean? It means there is a mode, technically, never or less than once a year is the mode, the common most value. It contains 30.3% of the cases. But notice the polar opposite response, 26.2% fall within every week or more. So I wouldn't even bother to describe the central tendency of this variable, although we will, just for illustrative purposes. I would point to the fact that it sort of approaches that idea of polarization, where you have two clearly distinct modes and a lot of thinness through the middle ranges of this variable, through the middle categories of this variable. The median, how do you find the median? Go down the cumulative percent column until you hit or exceed 50%. The median of this variable must lie within several times a year, because that's got the cumulative percentage marker of 54.1%. And you can see that here. So the central tendency, the measure that we'll use with the ordinal, of course, is the median, and it tells the story of the median, but it ignores the most interesting feature, which is this bimodality of the variable. This variable comes closer to the maximum dispersion scenario than to the minimum dispersion scenario. If I had to choose, I would say this is closer to that being completely spread out. Remember, no dispersion would be all the cases would be within one or two very closely related categories of the variable. Here's another example of an ordinal. This, of course, is a very familiar measure of ideology that you see in the surveys. This is out of the GSS 2012. We hear a lot of talk these days about liberals and conservatives. I'm going to show you a 7-point scale in which the political views that people might hold are arranged from extremely liberal, 0.1, to extremely conservative, 0.7. Where would you place yourself on this scale? Now, again, appreciate why this is an ordinal. I mean, this is measuring, the way it's set up, degrees of conservatism. From code 1 at extremely liberal to code 7 at extremely conservative. So you can rank respondents in terms of how liberal or conservative they are. Now, this is a good case where certainly you could use the central tendency to characterize the variable. Notice that the mode, with 38.5% of the cases, is moderate. And notice that the median, cumulative percentage 65.4, the median must also fall within the code moderate. So this variable has it's well behaved, I guess I would say, in terms of its shape. The extremes are thinly populated, and then when you get closer to the middle, you get a more clumping of cases. So here's what this looks like. It often makes perfect sense to rely on a variable central tendency as a shorthand summary, and I think that would make perfect sense here. This variable comes closer to the minimum dispersion scenario. Why? Because it has a clearly prominent median and mode, and the other cases are clustered closer to that median and mode.